we work with the abdomen. So we have some nice effleurage. So this is all the superficial front line and the deep front line. Okay, so we do some nice alternate effleurage. Right. And the colon will push around in this way. And then it comes out, the waste products come out there. Okay. Then remember, we have north, south, east and west. So we want to support, and we're just using digital fingers in below the rib area on the diaphragm. Now straight away I can feel that this side is tighter than this side. She has more tension here. So I'll let you feel this in a minute.
Is it from your experience perhaps of all your treatments, because the right side is more this side, because the body is also asymmetrical, where what holds more, like because the liver is on the right side, what is a bigger part of the body, and the diaphragm also?
No, not in my experience, because I'm working with the tension here. This is how it feels. It just, the muscular wise, you can feel she's tighter on this side than other side. So if you have a feel for her, we also have Haley and somebody else coming in today. You can feel with Haley it will feel different, and the other person it will feel different too. You can really feel here that she's holding. Okay, so it's quite soft here. Okay, it's a little bit tighter here. And we're always doing our effleurage towards, okay? And then here, this is nice and soft, okay? So she's quite tight there, she's quite tight there. It's soft there, there, and there, okay? So if the rib cage is tight, what we can do is use double thumbs and just use some nice thumb stripping. You have pain when I do that? No. Okay? And you would do that once, maximum 3 times. As I'm working, I can actually feel, do you feel it's tighter there? So in this position, I can actually feel here under the rib cage, it's tighter there. So again, you can hold that for up to 10 seconds, okay? So that's a nice way, gentle way to introduce yourself and to be moving the colon. If you find, like we find that she was, where were you tight? Here? And where was it?
The right side,
and
under the ribs.
Yeah, and it was up there, but it was more here, this one. So it's the superficial front line. She's more tight here, and it will also be coming in here as well. Okay. What you can do is, again, with your fist, deep breath for me, please. Big sigh out. Okay. On the out breath, right? Yeah. So you have to show them it's like this. It's so they have to really open their mouth.
Yeah,
so,
also with the sound of
yeah. Okay, and again, sometimes the clients are like, oh God, and if they're a bit embarrassed, don't force them into doing it, right? But you get other people that they're just not feeling good at all, and they really will let rip. Okay, so deep breath, I'll do it with you. Okay, so it doesn't feel too bad at all. And again, breathe. Okay, so on the out breath, you do a pumping action there. Now, that's not a blockage that she's got in her colon. She's actually just tighter in this position there. If it was here, now again, you need to be careful because you're going into the urinary system in here, and it could be that she needs to pee. Quite often when you're working with people, at this point, they'll maybe need to come on and off the toilet because they need to pee. Deep breath for me, please. So use the flats of the hands. And again, deep breath. Okay, so you can feel there the tension. That is certainly tighter than here. This is an indication that her abductors, okay, her abductors are going to be pretty tight in there too. All right. Now, if there is a problem with blockages in the actual colon itself, they generally come at this point here or there. They tend to get stuck on either side. And remember, it can be from bad diet, alcohol, smoking, medicines, things that we're putting inside of us that aren't easy for the body to process. So they'll stick, right? And it feels like a hard lump. So she's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. That's just tight. Now, if you feel a hard lump and that person has constipation, okay, then I'll show you an advanced form of what you would do. So again, deep breath for me, please. Big sigh out. Okay, and then it's a bigger movement where you're actually putting on an awful lot more force, because you need to break down the excrement that's holding there as the blockage, because this is why they can't go to the toilet. And they will feel it releasing, and because it feels good for them as well, it's not painful. They're quite into kind of helping you to get that movement done. Okay, so we have alternate effleurage. Okay, you then have your small finger frictions here. So you work, always start north, east, south, and then west. Okay, as you get a feel for what's going on, if it's the diaphragm, you want to have double thumbs on the diaphragm coming down. Okay, now this side here feels tighter because we've loosened it than the other side. Once, maximum 3 times. If she had pain here, if she had a pain coming into the intercostal muscles and also into the obliques and into the abdominalis, you can actually find it's because they've done loads of sit-ups and it's tight in here. What you can do is deep breath, big sigh out. As she breathes, hold your thumb in there. Scale of 10, where are you? She's a 5. So you can do an awful lot more detailed work there if they have been using the muscle group extensively in all of those areas. So that would be the front line, the lateral line, and the deep back line as well. Okay, you can also find too that if somebody is coming in with back pain, or they have pain in the side and it's nice and loose, there's nothing wrong with it. It can be because it's very tight here under the diaphragm area. Okay?
Okay. And if the client, for is an athlete or something, has really, I mean, the obliques need to have a kind of tension, but how to release the obliques? I mean, the internal obliques or external?
Yeah, okay. So the techniques I'm going to show you now, you can use for the obliques. We can also use these as well to encourage the lymphatic system. So ladies, again with the hormone changes, can carry a lot of more water around about the belly depending where they are on their menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
But we can also use this for the obliques as well, okay? So what you want to do is just have double hands right around the side, okay, deep breath, and big sigh out. And just to double hand effleurage that back nice and slow. And you bring it over until you meet the belly button, okay? Deep breath again for me, please. And big sigh out. If you wish, you can do alternate stroking. Again, until you meet the belly button, and then go breathe again. And that's it. So you need to be working with the breath. If you wish for a deeper movement, deep breath. Big sigh out. And then it's deeper and slower because it's double-handed. Okay, coming down here onto the hips, deep breath. Always on the out breath, you want to be pushing into that. Okay, if she stops, you stop. As she breathes, you go. And again, deep breath. And out. Okay, now we can do smaller movements, okay? So we want to do like a hook, a cup on. Deep breath for me, please. And big sigh out. So you're under the rib cage and you're bringing it in towards the belly button. And again, please. And relax. And then above the hip, deep breath. And relax. You okay? Is that painful? Yeah, okay. So you can certainly feel she's super tight in even these areas. You feel the texture changing? Okay, a deep breath. If it's tight there, just repeat the action. Okay, and so on. You would come around to the other side. And again, deep breath for me, please. Big sigh out.
You're moving from the false ribs?
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, breathe and relax. and you're coming just over to the belly button. If you need to do more work, you can also alternate, there's no problem. Keep breathing, deep breath, always with the breath. And relax. Nice, and relax. And again, I can feel it here straight away. Deep breath for me, please. And you're making a hook on and bringing it towards the belly button. And again, please. And relax. And again. And relax. And again. That's it. Okay, let's just check the diaphragm from this side. On you go. Big sigh out. And again, deep breath. And out you go. Scale of 10, where are you? 4. You're 4, okay, use that breath, take it to a 1. Say 1 when you get there. Okay, now if you want to work all of that rib area there, because that was feeling quite tight, you can come around this way. You're in a reverse stance. Deep breath, big sigh out, and you can put a hook on underneath the ribs. Is that too much? Do you need me to back off? No. You're okay. Scale of 10, where are you?
Do you?
A 3? Yeah, so she's a 3.
Do you pull a bit while she's breathing?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit into it. So she's a 3, it's fine. Okay, deep breath into that then. And big sigh out. And you just take it down to a 1. Where are you? Yeah, okay, so she's there, okay? So what we have is more tension actually around about underneath the belly button, so it's connected in here with the abductor area. What you can also do, there's the hip bone there, is if you had problems with the psoas muscle. So if the quads are really tight and you've done some really good work there on the quads, and the client has a good experience with you, and then they say, excuse me, that's Haley, they say afterwards, yeah, it was fine for like 4 days, but then it keeps coming back. Then you need to know when to go into the psoas muscle. Hey. Yeah, just
Didn't even know if I needed to go around.
sorry?
Didn't know if I still needed to.
Alright, no, just come in. We'll just be with you in a minute. Just leave the door open. I've got somebody else coming in as well. So what we then do, if it's related to loosening the quad muscles on the leg, you would do what we did this morning, and then you would put here your hook on next to the bone and above the groin, into the belly, okay? And then we come up with the leg. Just let me do it, just trust. So she's trusting me with the leg, and you're pushing in at the same time. Okay?
So it's between the obliques and the rectus
Yes,
femoris?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay? And then you're pulsing.
But you're not trying to get too deep, I mean, because then start also the organ or...
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So you wouldn't be coming in with a forearm or an elbow or anything like that. If you make a hook on with your finger, with the passive movement, it's enough to just squeeze into it. Okay, so that's an additional movement. For pain in the leg, you would need to then come into the psoas muscle. The rest of the routine there can be for constipation. It can be, especially for her, tension here in the superficial front line. So we're going to find, if we were working with Kaylin later on, that this part here is super tight with her. But we know that the health condition as well is all around this area too. But it comes in here into the abductors. So if we got her, so if she came in and she had said, oh Elaine, my abductors are so tight. And I think when I was working on your abductors last week when we had your legs up and we tried to open them, I'll just show Eugene quickly. Bring both of your legs up and bring your ankles together. That's it. And just let your legs just flop out. You see she's not got good range of movement here. Okay? So when the abductors are really tight like that, it will then affect the superficial front line. So you would loosen the abductors and then come into this part of the belly there. So you could be using your alternate effleurage.
Why in this position?
No.
Oh, no.
I'm just showing-
for
yeah.
testing. This is for testing it.
Yeah, I'm just showing you here because when the abductors are nice and loose, the legs will fully come down.
Yes.
So her abductors are super tight, but you know from here that she has tension there as well. So if she was in to have a treatment on her abductors, you would be working here in the legs in the side position, and then put your legs down. And then also you could be working in the belly here. You would be working here in south. And then you would certainly be, you could work into the psoas muscle as well. But it's more to do with the deep back line. It's not so much to do with the superficial front line. You would certainly be wanting to work in here, in with the diaphragm.
Okay.
And then you would find as well, just let your head just come down. These areas, okay, look at the way she took that. Is that tight? Yeah, she took a big deep breath there. Okay, so you'd also, for the abductors, you'd also be fine to work in here as well. Okay.
Yes. One question what I had on right now. You start with the oil work in the beginning. You do this also as a dry work first or something to prepare?
In the beginning, you can palpate through the towel.
Yes.
Okay, especially if it's like constipation. You can feel in the beginning where it is. If it's a physical treatment too, if you've worked the quads,
Yes.
you don't need to use oil to be loosening here into the psoas muscle.
Okay.
All of that can be through your towels as well, through your clothes too. And then you can work with oil.
Especially just while I received a question. I mean, if the knees are